Yo, what's good? What's good? It's your boy M to the A to the T E Izzo Matéo here from Boston. Just checking in with y'all, man. Just seeing what's up with y'all. Um, I'm a different type of guy, so I just wanted to kind of, you know what I'm saying, kick it with y'all, share my story for insight and inspiration in others. What inspired me to do this, honestly, it's a long time coming. I've tried it in different avenues with different groups of people, tried to illuminate my path. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know where I was headed back then when I would do videos and stuff like that, but I would try to, I had a radio show I was a part of that was, dedicated to the LGBTQ in the area. That was in college. And then while in college, I was a part of a social group. I could say a group of studs when I identified as a masculine lesbian. And then from there, I had joined some other groups or been recruited by other groups anyway to do like promotional stuff like that. So I feel like I've always had this spot in the limelight a little bit where enough people are familiar with who I am. But my journey has brought me to some really interesting places. And so now I feel like I've also found my voice, you know what I mean? And the people that have gotten to know me intimately have always said that I should, share my story, share my experiences, share my, wisdom with others because it's uplifting. It could really help people. So here I am. So I identify as a trans masculine individual, obviously black and brown, so melanin. My family originates, my father's side is from America, they're American, down south. And then on my mother's side, we are Central American, West Indian, so Panamanian mixed with some Jamaican, and so far that's all I know. I did do an ancestry, came back, I'm 1/3 West African, so that's pretty cool. Ivory Coast, 33 point something percent. So that's pretty dope. I plan on learning more about it, but I'm here to talk to y'all about basically, for the most part, my transition because that's what's important nowadays. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be certain things that people tend to focus on, and so this is one of them. Being trans is a very popular thing. You know what I mean? Some people are doing it for that reason, and other people are just falling into these opportunities and these circumstances because they are trans. Me personally, I just want to start there because it took me a while to do this. I didn't want to be grouped with any other trans guy. No shade to you brothers, but I truly have believed since day one, since I decided that I was going to do this, that this is a journey that is very particular to the man that is traveling it themselves when we are talking about trans men, because obviously there are trans women also. But yeah, so basically it's very particular to the person, the human, right? And I experienced that because, number one, when I started to even have these thoughts, first of all, it was it was brought to me, I would say probably about 2000, early 2000s. My very first girlfriend, I came out as a lesbian. You know what I'm saying? I had suppressed the feelings of wanting to be a man, a boy, from childhood because, I just never saw it happening. But that's a story for another day. So pretty much my first girlfriend who introduced me to, the community and what it was to be a stud, be a lesbian, and all of that, like how to show up and, where you fit in at and all of that stuff. She actually introduced this this film to me, and I'm not sure. I want to say it might have been like a documentary, and at that time we were in school for film, so it was very intriguing to see other people's work. And I was working on something very, very similar, which is crazy. And I still have it on my Facebook, which is another crazy part about that, is still on my Facebook. But anyway, long story short, because my battery's about to die, and I really want to finish this intro video. She introduced it to me, and it was a bunch of AGs and studs and masculine people from New York, and they were all discussing their thoughts around transitioning. And at the time, that was a very, very extremely foreign thought for me. Like, I didn't even understand the term. The word, of course, like, I loved the English language. I could spell words that I may have never even seen, but if you pronounce it right, and I know the meaning of it, for some reason, I can figure out how to spell it. But that just transition, trans, none of that, made sense to me. So it went over my head. She showed it to me, and I was honestly afraid to identify. I don't know what that is either. That's a fear thing that I've had since childhood. You know what I'm saying? But something about when someone pinpoints something that I'm afraid to say, but it's inside of me and only I know it, I'm afraid to be like, yo, you're right. Now as an adult, I can do it. But back then, I still felt kind of like eerie about it. So even though she, was on the right path, I was too afraid to come out and be like, yo, yes, you're right, da 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 da. So she showed it to me. I shied away from it. Moved on with my life, moved on, ended up dating other people, new people, boom. My next relationship, I started just displaying other things. Just very, really agitated, just wanting to be seen as male and masculine and respected in those spaces and in that nature. And so me and my partner, outside of the other things that we had already had going on, we would bump heads because that's what I needed from her. And, she also came from a lifestyle where she was already dating cisgendered, naturally born, masculine males, because to be masculine, you don't have to be more than male. But in my mind at the time, that I associated the two heavily. So for me, it wasn't the fact that I was masculine. That wasn't enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't feel like it was enough for my partner, because I didn't feel like I was receiving what I wanted from my partner. So at that point, with her is where I decided this lesbian shit is not enough for me. I need a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, so I started doing the research. She also had brought to me a trans man. Now, Instagram is popping now. People are posting their stories in themselves. There was this trans guy, never forget, his name was Taylor. And he had posted himself, and she was like infatuated with him, and that hurt me too, because I'm just like, okay, am I like this guy? You know what I'm saying? And here I am with my partner. I'm looking for them to, notice me in these ways, and then notice in this person and this individual who is still feminine but is a man. So that threw me off. And then I decided while dating her, I was actually engaged to her. That was my awakening for self. And I just went on this amazing journey since then. I met another beautiful young woman. She honestly was there for me from when I said I'm trans and I'm having this surgery up until maybe 2 years ago now. Yeah, I'd say about 2 years ago, about this time we broke up. Life, shit happens. I really feel like with me and my transition, a lot of just who I was, I sheltered myself so much that I didn't allow myself to be. So when I did come across certain people, I had already advanced past where I was ready to or willing to stop and settle. So, certain things just didn't work out, and that's okay. But I do thank her, and still have all that immense love for her to be there, because man, that was a lot to endure. You know what I'm saying? So to have somebody to love you and be with you at that time, like, that's amazing. So I will never ever short her of the strength that she had for me, and that love, nigga, that love and that consistency and that loyalty as well. You know, so that's what's up. But more recently, I have been able to, you know, reunite with someone who knew me in my past life and didn't really know this about me, but probably could sense it and tell. And so I'm like fully transitioned now knowing her. So I've been blessed enough to actually be very familiar and around a good number of people who kind of probably saw this coming from me. You know what I'm saying? But that's my journey. You know, I started injecting myself almost, I think this year will be year 6 at this point because it was 2016, 2022. Yep, 6th year. Um, Intramuscular, you know, I inject in my legs and my thighs every other week, you know, every other thigh. And I love it. I love my journey. You know what I'm saying? The reason that I'm doing this video now, doing this kind of like intro and catch you up to speed is because in the beginning, I felt like I had a very hard time, you know, in between those relationships and situations and me trying to figure out who I am. I had a very hard time trying to find people that look like me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know what to really search in YouTube. Um, I was afraid to honestly put in a black trans man. I didn't really know what to type in, you know. And I came across a lot of white guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not mad at them. This is just what society has kind of built for us. You know what I'm saying? So my purpose, once I did make the decision to transition and come out and do my thing, my purpose became, you know, being that voice and being that example for somebody else. In between these last 5 years, I'm not gonna hold you, I've had so many things happen in life that has turned me away from just living my natural true self. But now I feel that 5 years in, I'm at a point where I'm ready to release a lot of my best practices, secrets, you know what I'm saying, downfalls, um, every and anything that can be helpful to another young black trans man, you know what I'm saying? Because we need that representation, you feel me? Like, I'm not, I never really lived my life based off of color. No bullshit. I've learned about it. It's obvious that you have to be aware of it, especially when you're a black or brown person. Um, this is my second relationship where I'm raising children, and that's very important to me. So, you know, raising black and brown babies as well, like it's very important. I don't want my children personally to be stuck up on the past in our history. I want them to be well aware of it, and I want that to empower them. I don't want that to make them feel like they are inferior to anyone else. You know what I mean? Like, or anybody else can make them feel less than. You feel me? Because a lot of us are still living in that now. I understand that, you know, our culture and our people are still trying to move forward in many ways. You feel me? But that don't need to be the focus, because at the end of the day, my God, our God, the Creator, has taught me that focusing in on what you want and having that strong connection to your Creator is what's most powerful. So I don't give a goddamn, you know what I'm saying, how many people are still ignorant, still want to call me a nigger, still want to treat me differently because of the color of my skin or how I carry myself or whatever. At the end of the day, I know who I answer to, I know who created me, and I know who returned me back to this earth, and I know who got my back all the way. So that's just how I think about it. But I felt like I wanted to do this video just because I needed people to understand what took me so long. You feel me? Life. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the more I think about it, I'm ready to focus. I'm ready to be that pillar for my community. You know what I'm saying? One of, because there needs to be many of us out here sharing our stories. On top of sharing my story, I have other projects in the works too that I really am starting to take serious. because I see the need for a presence. I also remember myself, like I said, searching when I first decided, okay, this is who I am. Where do I get the information, to follow through on whatever? It's like a lot of guys use their transition for checks, and that's okay. I get it. YouTube is giving out checks and money and shit like that. So honestly, that's what pushed me away. I didn't want to feel like I'm just like this next guy. You know what I'm saying? This dude has already told you what bottom surgery is like, what top surgery is like, the process, and this and that. Now I'm gonna give y'all exactly what the fuck I've been looking for, and that's why I'm happy that I waited. I'm gonna give y'all the mental. What the fuck that shit feels like, what it feels like, what it looks like, the mental side of things. You know what I'm saying? What your mind does when certain things happen, certain things that may trigger you, and you might not want to show that shit to somebody, but it triggered you. You know what I'm saying? When you start overthinking about, bottom surgery, when you're going to use the bathroom and shit, your mindset after a while, you know what I'm saying? In the beginning, you know, getting a STP, a stand to pee, a packer, wearing a packer at all. My packer really has helped me. Like, dysphoria, I don't admit to having dysphoria because, again, like I said, like, I have this mindset and this belief. I'm a stoic, so there's certain things that I just don't choose to give my power to, and my mindset is just stronger than allowing myself to go down certain rabbit holes. So at the end of the day, it's like with certain things, you just gotta have your mind made up. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel that I am. So when it comes to dysphoria, my mind is just made up with certain things. I realize that there's certain times that I experience something specific, like for instance, when I want to have sex. At times, I get aggravated because I haven't had my bottom surgery yet. So, what I got down there is enough, but sometimes I want to do more pumping, you know what I'm saying? And I don't need to do all that pumping for what I got, and it don't make sense, you know what I'm saying, to be doing that, and it's going to fuck up the rhythm and the flow. So, but it's like, that's when dysphoria kicks in for me, because it's like an aggravation, you know what I mean? But I used to think of dysphoria as a weakness, as something that, made you feel like, oh, I'm trans. That's how I thought about it. But that's because a lot of guys would describe it as that. Oh, this is what reminds me that I'm transgender, or that I'm not fully this. And it's like, at the end of the day, what I don't understand about a lot of trans people is their reality, their sense of reality. Like, at the end of the day, you got to look at the word and the process. Transition. We're never, ever going to be real this or fully that. And I don't like those terms, because me being trans is proof that there's no such thing. There's no authenticity in being born a cisgender male. That's just a term. You feel me? So it's not like you more man than me. It's just that this is what they chose to honor, and this is what they chose to honor, and I'm okay with that. But because I exist and I feel normal and I'm okay with how I exist and how I have to show up in the world and what the things that I have to do in order to show up the way that I want to, I'm so comfortable with that. I'm okay. And I know how to describe my position in the world. Somebody else is not going to allow me to do that. They're going to be, oh, this nigga's crazy. Or why does he think that he belongs here? I do. Just like this. Like, it's not, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, people, you got to fall into your strength. But yeah, man, my name is Matéo, M to the A to the T. Oh, that's my time. I will be back with another video. This is, again, just my intro. I just want y'all to know what I've been doing these last 5 years. You feel me? But I've been trying not to fall into the whole, what trans men usually do. This is my top surgery. This is my, no shade to you brothers, but I'm all set with that scripted shit. I'm really trying to give people the real, because this is what I was looking for before I started. You feel me? I was looking for somebody to tell me, nigga, when you, excuse my language, but after that third shot, you be horny as a mug, like, or, if you have a little girlfriend or whatever, when you shot 27, you might, need some alone time. Like, you really do got to talk about the mentals. And you got to leave it broad and open enough so that people understand that it ain't the same for everybody. We all go through different things, but it's a beautiful process, you feel me? So if you're thinking about it, just make sure that you do your due diligence for yourself. Fuck what everybody else got to say, because honestly, no bullshit, like, you really just got to do what's best for you. That's what I learned about this transition shit. This was the best decision I've ever made for myself. I've ever made for myself. I would never change my mind. And I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm the most connected I've ever been to myself. You know, it got me on my spiritual path. It's aligned me with some amazing beings in the world that have helped me solidify my space in the world. It's very affirming. You know what I'm saying? So please don't let people shun you away from doing something that you really want to do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your personal goals are, let those be that. And just move forward and being the best you that you can be, baby. And that's all I got for y'all. I'll be back. You feel me? Matéo, the vibe here. You know what I'm saying? Check me out. Like, share, support, and leave some comments. Y'all got some questions? Leave them down below. I'll be back answering some questions and just giving some more general knowledge.